Hey guys, this evening we're going to be cooking a Whole30 recipe. It's one of my favorite Whole30 recipes. It's Thai chicken and peanut sauce, but it's actually dairy-free, gluten-free, and peanut-free. So let's get get the chicken cooked, and I personally like to use boneless chicken for this recipe instead of getting something that's already cooked. And I just put it in the oven for about 30 to 35 minutes, about 375 heat. Kind of wait till it's tender, but it looks cooked all the way through. Once I've got the chicken going in the oven, the next thing I like to do is put the date in the microwave. It says to put 1 full date in 2 tablespoons of water and then mash it up. Put it in the microwave for 30 to 45 seconds. Sometimes I like to buy date pieces. Publix has a great chopped brand that you can get, or whatever else at the grocery store. Once you take the date and water out of the microwave, make sure it's a consistency almost a little bit thicker than lotion. Use a fork to mash it further if you need to, and just kind of set that aside because we'll use that as the base for our peanut sauce later. Next, you want to mix all of the dried ingredients, oils, and sunflower butter together to make the sauce while the chicken cooks. You'll start with mixing 1 tablespoon of ginger, 6 tablespoons of coconut aminos, which is a soy sauce alternative. You can find it in most grocery stores now, even at Walmart and Target, depending on where you live. Next, you want to mix in just a little bit of sesame oil or olive oil. I usually put 1 to 2 teaspoons in there. It helps give it a little more watery consistency. Then you'll want to put in a 1/4 cup of sunflower butter. The kind that we usually buy is just called sun butter. It has no sugar added. It's actually really good. We can use it for other things like make toast, put it on apples for snacks, all kinds of things. So I usually just get out my regular scooper and put in a 1/4 cup into the bowl. And you'll be surprised that sunflower butter is actually much creamier than almond butter or peanut butter. It has a lot more natural oils in it, and so it's much easier to stir. The only other things that we need to add are our garlic, and I usually just keep a large thing of minced garlic in the fridge, and that's what I use to cook with. And you'll put 1 tablespoon of garlic in there. And then you'll just kind of get that all together and whisk it until it gets to almost like a paste consistency. And we'll put the date in shortly and then put it on top of our vegetables to make the peanut sauce. Once you've got the sauce mixed up and set aside, it's now time to chop the vegetables. The recipe actually calls for a red pepper, a yellow pepper, and a zucchini, and it also calls for shredded carrots. I sort of take the easy way out a little bit and buy pre-shredded carrots. Certainly do whatever you're comfortable with. The next step is to take all those vegetables and slice them up in thin slices, about a 1/4 of an inch thick, and then we'll put those in the pan to saute. Once you get the vegetables all chopped up, as small as you can get them, I try to do them almost smaller than what you would imagine a French fry size being. Dump them all in the pot to start sauteing, and then once these are browned, we will put the base for the peanut sauce in. I would say put these on high heat for about 8 to 10 minutes. Now that we're almost done with the chicken and the vegetables, I just have to bring you guys over here and show this to you. It's some cross between a stir fry and the sauce we're about to make. Once the vegetables are done, soft and completely ready to go, right before you pour the peanut sauce we made earlier in, the recipe calls for 2 to 3 tablespoons of lime juice. I usually just kind of eyeball it, but that's what the recipe says. And I just kind of whip that in with the sauce before we put it on the vegetables. Once you're done with the sauce, it has a consistency very similar to, I would say, creamy yogurt. It's a little bit thicker than you would imagine a sauce being, but it's not very thick, as in stiff and hard to mix together. So once the vegetables are ready, you just kind of pour the sauce over the vegetables and mix it until everything is mixed together. And then we will chop up the chicken and put that in here shortly. Once the chicken is done, I like to slice it up in really thin pieces, maybe 1 to 1.5 inches before I dump it in the vegetables, which is really easy right when it comes out of the oven. Once the vegetables look ready to go, you can go ahead and put the chopped chicken straight in on top of them since they're already mixed with the sauce. I went ahead and chopped it up. It's, like I mentioned, maybe 1 to 1.5 inch pieces. I just dump it straight into the sauce and mix together. So here we have the finished product, and the only topper I like to add usually is sesame seeds. You can add regular sesame seeds or black sesame seeds, whatever works best for you. I think it kind of just depends on where you get them and how accessible they are at the time.